Okay, so I know it's the end of night, and I'm gonna talk about food, so I hope you're not too starving, and I hope not making you more starving than you are, if you are. So you all know that I'm from France, and French people are very proud of their food, but I think it's common in every culture. I come from a family, when I look at my family, I realize that we're being very, very French. Food and cooking is very important for us. My grandpa, who was the man I interviewed tonight for this presentation tonight, was a chef in a big restaurant in east of France, and then became a cooking teacher for a cooking school. And my mom's dream has always been to open her own restaurant. So it's not even my passion, it's also my dream to one day open here in the US a new concept of French restaurant. So hopefully I get to do that in a few years. So tonight I'm going to talk about when cooking goes beyond eating. And when I did my research, I found a great book on food and culture written by Caroline Coniban. She says that food touches everything. Food is life, and life can be studied and understood through food. So we are going to talk about why is food more than food. We will go through three points. First of all, food is a crossing point between science and art. Secondly, we will go over why cooking makes us human. And finally, we will talk about how food creates and shapes culture, as well as it unify cultures and societies. So some people think that cooking is a science. Why? Because there is a lot of measurement. If you want to, for these people, measuring your ingredients will get you to the perfect match and the perfect meal. There is also, Harvard actually does every 2 years a lecture. This year they're doing 2 weeks about science and food. So they're just going to talk about it for 2 weeks. And they talk a lot about how cooking requires innovation, and through product innovation and process innovation. And one good example I found to illustrate the innovation in cooking is the molecular cuisine, which requires chemistry reactions to cook and to heat your food. I found this book written by Shirley Corriher, The Hows and Whys to Succeed in Cooking. She says that science is the key to understand that what goes right and wrong in the kitchen. Cooking is chemistry, and it is essentially chemical reaction. So mainly she talks in her book how to become a great cook, you need to have basic knowledge about chemistry and science. When I say that to we had a long talk with my grandfather, and I kind of felt he jumped on his seat when I said that cook is science. For him, he talks about the art of cooking. Cooking is not a science. It's the art of preparation, the art of arranging the table, the art of mixing taste and color. Also, Marcel Boulestin, which is a French cook, say that cookery is not chemistry, it is an art. It requires instinct and taste rather than exact measurements. So, as my grandfather said, you need your like in arts, you need your 5 senses to become a good cook. You need to make your taste, your smell, sight, hearing, touch working. And you also need this, what he called the 6th sense, which is memory and instinct together. And he said something at the end of the discussion which was really interesting. For him, cooking is even like art. Art, we say that art is a language, and a way to transmit your feelings, and this is what he feels about cooking. It's a language that people use to communicate their feelings and their imagination. But no matter what you think, he did say that measurement and a little bit of science was very useful for baking. So no matter what you feel about cooking, whether it's a science or an art, we may all agree that it's a survival necessity. And this is how I get to wonder, and actually other researchers around the world also studied this question. Why our ancestor, the Homo erectus, survived while other species did not? Well, a searcher from Harvard, Dr. Wagram, wrote a book, Catching Fire, how cooking made us human. And it's basically he say that cooking, when discovering the benefits of cooking, our ancestors, the Homo erectus, survived because it implies body changes and social changes that were essential for our survival. So this is a short video. I'm just going to show you the first few seconds that BBC did on his book. I think it will get.
Bacon and eggs for breakfast. Steaming roast beef for lunch. Followed by a helping of apple crumble and a dollop of fresh cream. We all have our favorite food. It's a feast for the eyes, a temptation for the nose, and pure pleasure for the mouth. But it might be that what we eat has done much more to make us what we are than anyone could possibly have imagined.
So now I have your attention. So basically, like Claude Lévi-Strauss said in his book of Philosophy of Taste, cooking established the difference between people and animal. So cooking for Dr. Wagram from Harvard gave us, led us to some body changes, like the way our ancestors started to stand and run faster. Also, cooking made easier to eat food. So our teeth, our jaws, and skull became smaller, as well as our digestive system. There were also some social changes involved. Like it was the first form of a division of gender labor between women and men. Women were not able to hunt in this wildlife, so they stayed home to cook. And there is also cooking made us easier to eat, so shorter time needed to eat. So the time people accorded to hunt and cooking made them able to actually have some free time and start to have some social leisure and social time. Also, like my grandpa said, thanks to cooking, different cultures share common values. No matter if you're in China, Czech Republic, India, or here in the US or France, in the kitchen you got to be reactive, imaginative, you got to manage your time and be organized. And it's also outside the kitchen. You share values of family, friendship, sharing and giving back to people. And just to finish, I want to talk a little bit about different gastronomies. So this is the first one, ratatouille. Just a fun or interesting fact: French gastronomy is very much based on strict manners. Never put your elbows on the table if you are eating with the French people. Never actually bon appetit, enjoy your meal, is actually considered as being rude in French. And in a formal French dinner, you will have 7 courses, from the cocktail till the coffee or alcohol, digestive alcohol at the end. So, do you recognize this food?
Yes, I do.
So Czech Republic food is very based, stop me if I'm wrong, but very based on hot soup, sauce, meat, potatoes, bread,
Dumplings.
and always with a glass of beer, right? Always. And I also know from a friend who is from Czech Republic that I think it's because religion is important there. You have traditions like baking small cakes with the white decoration icing on it for Christmas, or decorating the eggs for Easter. Is it right?
Yes,
okay.
That's true.
Then American food. From my personal experience, I noticed that the American gastronomy in general really shows how American culture is, the melting pot of cultures you guys have in the country. And you can really, even though some type of food can be Americanized, you really show when you just take a list of restaurants in a city, you will find any type of food. And Miss Carbonaro as well, the Italian food culture. And I found an interesting fact. Did you know that each type of pasta comes from a different part of Italy? For example, the bowies, the little butterflies shape, come from the south of Italy, and the linguine comes from northwest of Italy. So just to finish, cooking is more than food because it's also a science and an art. It is the foundation of human species, and it is both a culture unifier and a separator. And these are just some pictures of what I cook, and me, actually it was this summer, and I just taught my friend's little kid how to cook his first omelette, so that was very good. And this is me cooking at Evelyn's place last year, so I hope you guys enjoyed.